So I feel like this message is for those who feel like they are always meeting people, and this is on the topic of love and relationships, who are always meeting people when the other person is not ready for love or commitment. And while it starts off like they are, you come to quickly realize that they are nowhere near ready to start something significant and settle down. And it can be very disheartening because, like, well, why did you bother me if you wasn't ready? Type of energy. But it feels like these people are attracted to you naturally because you're a natural healer, you're a natural lover, you're a natural supporter, you're a natural lover. Did I say lover already? And a lot of times people are in their transition periods when they meet you, or they are like working on themselves heavenly. You're heavenly. They're heavenly working on themselves. They need some help. And they need some help. And so, I mean, you can look at it as unfortunate because it does hurt. It can hurt your heart a lot, and you can be bruised and wounded a lot from people not treating you right. Um, and I don't want to dismiss that. I really do want to honor that because it doesn't feel fair. And it's not easy to just say, well, that's part of your duty to help guide other souls, even if it's in a romantic relationship. Sometimes you're just there I'm here for a good time, not a long time, but not really. But sometimes you're just there for a moment. Some of you realize that you meet somebody, you hit it off, and it literally lasts a week, a month, and then suddenly they ghost you, and you're wondering what you did. It's like you didn't do anything. You triggered something within them. You triggered more awakening within them. You triggered more confidence within them. For some reason, like they weren't who they were meant to be yet. And whether you're meant to come back together with them or not, or they're just supposed to evolve to be with somebody different, neither here nor there. And we have to understand that sometimes you are just a part of their growth, and it needs to happen in like a romantic sense for whatever reason. So I it's not an easy thing to carry or an easy path, but I do want to encourage you to kind of stay hopeful that like your match will come, where who doesn't need any help, who is at your level, and you're not helping them transition. I do believe that you will find somebody who has already done the work without putting you through pain. And if it so happens to be that somebody you meet them in a transition period and they still like play what we call in our reality, we feel like it's playing games, push pull, the thing between men and women, and where it's just like what's going on, but you still feel like you care for them. What was I saying? Yeah, exactly. It don't make no sense. Why would you put up with that? But maybe you understand that if you feel like it's a soul bond or something really deep or really meant to be, maybe you will have instances where it's very messy in the beginning, or it's really good, really messy, and then there's ghosting, and then there's nobody talking to nobody, and then there's arguments. But then you come together and just realize what it was. But listen, this is not for everybody. You have to understand what's the difference between toxic individuals who aren't on a spiritual journey at all, or not really, not on your wavelength. You have to understand the difference between those people, because they will play in the same way, but you have to have your boundaries. But you have to understand the difference between the people who aren't really working towards anything and just come into your life and just to just be messy. And you have to know what your boundaries are, because that's still a part of your growth. And so you're always in transition as well. You're always growing as well. So it's both ways. And when you can understand that the growth is happening on both sides, you will be a little less attached to what happens, and you'll be able to see like, well, how did this impact me? How did this grow me? And whether they come back around or not, you should be fine with it. You should be detached from it, or you should try to be, or not hold on to it for so long. We're humans, and we're normal that we're going to feel some pain when somebody we grew an attachment to suddenly kind of flips a switch on us. But that's how you have to know like where you are in your spiritual journey, how you feel about this individual, what you see in them, and if you feel like they were guided to you for a reason. Now, of course, I don't want to blow your head up and say like, oh yeah, no, everybody that comes to you is you're supposed to change their whole life. Hey, Because if you feel like that, that would sometimes you would end up staying in a situation for longer because you feel like you're the hero, and that's not always the case. Um, so don't overstay your welcome, but meeting people in the midst of their transition, in the midst of their healing, and you being the one to feel like you're always the one on the other end of that, like they're always meeting me and they're always in a rough spot and I'm always the one helping them and they don't always admit it, and sometimes they leave and go off and be better people for other people and I'm left heartbroken with the pieces. I feel like I keep losing my train of thought. Y'all let me know what I was saying. Put it down in the comments. And if you experience this, put like put a heart of whatever color you want in the comment section, and let me know if you feel like you're that type of person who continue. It feels like a pattern where people come into your life, and let me know if you've changed the way that you have interacted with these individuals. I know before it was more like a trauma bond. I felt like I overstayed my welcome, and then I got caught up in it instead of really just seeing how it was growing me, how it was growing them, and just move on in a decent, timely manner. I've shifted from that to really kind of testing the waters a little bit, being a little bit more careful before jumping right in, seeing what's going on with them, really asking questions, feeling their energy before assuming, not giving my whole heart and energy to them in the beginning, because like I said, you're very loving, very open, very supportive. Everybody that comes your way, you just want to take them in and show them a good time, show them love, show them what like a real relationship looks like. And that doesn't always go to plan. So um, yeah, I've kind of shifted from being overly giving to now really testing the waters a little bit more, but still doing what I feel like I'm guided to do. Like I don't dismiss when something tells me to reach out to them or say this or say that or do this or do that. Like I don't shy away from that because I know I'm guided to do certain things at certain times, but also whenever they pull away, I'm also guided to not reach back out to them. I'm guided to give them their space. I'm guided to detach. And maybe this is a lesson about how do I stay focused on myself without pouring my whole energy into somebody else. You know what I mean? So it is all a growing lesson, evolution. Sometimes people come in who are just a little bit off track, or they're a little bit, you feel like they're a little bit lower than you. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I think we're all just kind of struggling in a different way. So as much as you're teaching them and helping them, they're probably also teaching and helping you. So this is just more about meeting people in the midst of their transitions. How does that look? How does that feel? How do we not stay stuck but also stay true to our intuition and ourselves, and understand our role in this whole thing? And we can have our emotions about it, but I know you're gonna move forward and be stronger because of it. And it'll all be all right, and eventually you will find your perfect match. You'll find your forever person that you are meant to be with, whether you believe that or not. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Let me know if that resonates at all, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.